Hey guys, what's happening down there in Trinidad and Tobago? One thing I have to say is that Caribbean politicians are really not original in what they do. It's just a copy. But anyway, this is a good thing still. Doge is coming to Trinidad and Tobago, at least a ministry of efficiency. That's according to Stuart Young, the man who's hoping to be Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago after the next election. But maybe Stuart has a point. Time for government wastage to stop and some efficiency to be put into what is being done, projects being carried out under government. After all, we always hear about cost overrun and so many other things. So maybe he has a point, although it's not original per se. He may have a point there. And the reason why I'm saying that is because today I saw an article in the Trinidad Express, and I'll talk about it after I play the video from Mr. Young announcing his plans to implement the Ministry of Efficiency, or Doge, in Trinidad after, if he wins the next election, that is.
I am going to introduce for the first time a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency in the government of Trinidad and Tobago, out of the office of the Prime Minister. Because for too long, things get lost in abeyance. And that ministry will have the ability, when I as Prime Minister say, hey, you see that deep water harbor? I need that done. When I need this done and I need that done, that ministry will have the ability to go in, to get the inefficiencies done across the system, to break the bureaucracy within the confines of the law, but to get things done, because Trinidad and Tobago deserves better. And if the opposition, who will still be the opposition, try to stand in the way of constitutional reform, etc., fine. That Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency, out of the office of the Prime Minister, with me riding them and them riding everybody else, will get a lot done in that period. So look forward to that, Trinidad and Tobago. And Lebre, you allowed me to announce that here, right here in Lebre today. Thank you.
Not sure how good that is going to work coming out of the Prime Minister's office, because in these Caribbean islands, prime ministers already don't care about efficiency, they care about staying in power. So maybe that is an office to ensure that, let me just leave it like that. That's if he wins the next election. But a very important thing, because I saw this coming out of the Trinidad Express today, where it says that public funds to fit. So maybe you really need something to deal with government wastage and corruption. Public funds to fit. Saddam, and he talks about the $20,000 to buy PNM tickets. I don't know. You can leave your comments in the section below. It says Opposition Member of Parliament Saddam Hussein has called for an investigation. The Police and the Integrity Commission into the expenditure of public funds by the Point Lisa's Industrial Port Development Corporation to purchase tickets for People's National Movement FIT. Is that real? That doesn't sound normal. Speaking during the United National Congress pavement report on Tuesday in Tunapuna, he called for the chairman to explain the matter and for the company, the entire board, to go. That's a hell of a thing if actually public funds were used to buy ticket for a PNM FIT. But I tell you, I think my good friend here, Stuart Young, could really be on to something when he says that there needs to be a Ministry of Efficiency in Trinidad and Tobago. Hope to deal with waste and corruption and all these things. I hope it really takes on that fight as well, because you really, really need that, especially in these Caribbean countries. A lot of things go on that we don't know about. I mean, the money is wasted so much. But so Stuart says that the ministry will be tasked with addressing bottlenecks, expediting project completion within the legal boundaries, and providing direct oversight of critical national initiatives. He pointed out to the Deepwater Harbor in La Brea as an example. And I was looking and going through here, because he says it'll be the first time that they'll be getting an implementation, and a Ministry of Implementation and Efficiency in the government of Trinidad and Tobago out of the office of the Prime Minister. I haven't seen anything here which says it's going to be dealing with wastage and corruption in government, because the Doge in the United States of America, this is basically a copy of what it is, but the Doge in the US is looking at all the corruption that's taking place, all the wastage in government funds and all of that. But I haven't heard him mention anything like that, and maybe that's something like that would have been a good grandstander for him. But I guess he knows what he's talking about, but I haven't heard that part. But the other part about efficiency, that's fine. But it's not an original thing. But Stuart, good luck, sir. And those of you from Trinidad and Tobago, remember to like, share, and subscribe and leave your comments. Tell me what you think about this new ministry that Stuart wants to implement once he wins the next election. Take it easy, guys.